Hello everyone, my name is Con Grilakis and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of FT Technologies. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about our company and what we do and how we can help you. But first of all, a bit about our organisation. FT Technologies is an Australian-based company that provides innovative food and beverage processing solutions to our customers on a global basis. As you'll see today, our innovative spinning cone technology combined with our process and applications expertise from our staff will enable you to lower your operating costs while at the same time improving your product quality and your market share. And you'll see examples today where we've been able to achieve that for our customers. But first of all, a bit about ourselves. Where are we? Well, this may not be your usual view of the planet, but we'd like to think that since we are leading the world in this application, we get to be on top for once. And there we are on the top left-hand side in Australia in a town called Griffith in New South Wales. That's our global head office, and we have the ability of doing trials there which many customers come and take advantage of. Our other location is in the UK in Reading, where we also have an office where we're able to actually do trials as well. In addition to that, of course, we can offer trials and on-site work in a number of places around the world. So in regarding to today's webinar, today you will find out about our spinning cone technologies. So we'll spend a bit of time going through the detail as to how that technology works. In particular, you'll find some information about our spinning cone column, our Centritherm Evaporator, and then our integrated extraction system. In addition to technical information, we'll provide you with information about how these technologies can be utilized in various applications in the food and beverage industry to improve your product quality and in many cases improve the operation of your business. Today you'll be hearing from our Global Sales and Marketing Head, Leon Skaliotis. In addition, from our Head of Sales for North and South America, Aubrey Dyer. So, I'd like now to hand over to Leon Skaliotis.
Well, thank you, Con, and welcome everyone to this webinar today. As Con mentioned, we are an Australian company who for the last 35 years has been a world leader in innovative process technology for thin film processing, specifically in the areas of distillation, evaporation, and extraction. Our technologies and focus on thin film processing allows us to help customers with manufacturing higher quality aromas, premium concentrates, and high value extracts. Using our technologies, we are actually in a lot of different industries and are used for a lot of different applications. So if we have a look at some of these, the coffee and tea industry, we help our customers achieve higher value products in terms of producing high value aroma for soluble coffee, for liquid coffee, for RTD teas, and tea powder. In the dairy industry, we're used by large dairy companies for deodorization of cream, but also for concentration of whey protein concentrates and milk proteins. In the fruit and vegetable industry, we're used to produce natural aromas from various fruits and vegetables, but also to make high quality concentrates where we can retain the active ingredients of the products, as well as high contents and high yields of polyphenols, antioxidants, etc. In the pharmaceutical industry, our thin film technology is used to produce high-value products and solvent removal. For botanical extracts, again, high-value products such as aloe vera, echinacea are processed through our technology. The protein industry for soup stock concentration, bacterial broths. Fats and oils industry for deodorization of vegetable oils, production of omega-3 fatty acids. And in the alcohol industry, for removal of alcohol from beer and wine to produce medium strength wine and beer, but also zero alcohol wine and beer. So what we do in all of these industries is help you, the customer, grow. Customers keep coming back to FT Technologies. Every year, 25 to 30% of our sales are due to existing customers coming back, and they tell us that our technology is helping them grow and differentiate their product. They tell us that it's assisting them to make a premium product that is allowing them to differentiate themselves from their competitors. It's allowing them to quickly and easily bring new products to market, and it is allowing them to differentiate themselves and increase their market share not only in their existing domestic market but also in other export markets. Part of our expertise is by focusing on the principles of low thermal impact. And what we do is ensure that all our technology has short residence times and lower temperatures than the other competing technologies out there. So some of our equipment has heating times of only, say, 1 second to create a concentrate that is more concentrated than other technologies, and also has a higher yield of the active ingredients and color that you're looking for. All our technology is built on the skid and is a continuous automated solution with clean-in-place functionality. So let's begin by looking at our first technology, the spinning cone column, which we developed 35 years ago specifically for the wine industry, but very soon found out that there were so many applications that we're still finding new applications 35 years down the track. The spinning cone column falls in the same family as other distillation columns, but more correctly is a steam stripping device where steam is used to remove the volatiles such as aroma or flavor from a liquid product that is spread thinly over the spinning cones. And I'll explain that shortly. The spinning cone column is unique compared to other distillation columns in that not only can it process clear liquids, but it can process slurries. And by slurries, what I mean is tea leaves mixed with water or coffee beans that are crushed and mixed with water being processed through the system, or viscous products. And by viscous products, some of our customers process mango pulp or banana pulp directly through the spinning cone column to remove the true natural aroma of the product. So products up to 7,000 centipoise can actually be processed in a thin film to remove the light volatiles that are so critical to creating a fresh aroma. The spinning cone columns create a thin film of only 1 millimeter across the surface, enabling short residence times and low temperatures to be used in the aroma extraction process. The SEC is principally used for aroma recovery, and as mentioned, it can be from fruit, vegetables, meat stocks, alcohol. Various products can be processed through the spinning cone column easily and flexibly. It can also be used for flavor management. Some of our customers ensure that they have a standard product year-round, regardless of seasonal variation to their product, by processing through the spinning cone column. In some industries, such as the ready-to-drink tea industry, at the same time as removing flavor or aroma, we can be extracting the soluble solids from the product. That is, brewing the tea within the column in that short period of time. And in yet other industries, at the same time as removing the aroma, we can be pasteurizing the product if the temperature and time frame permits. So one of the unique features of the spinning cone column is that we can optimize various parameters to capture a preferred aroma. What this means is that the aroma that's coming out has no need for further rectification, but is the final aroma that you want to add back to your product. And also, during this processing and aroma recovery stage, there is no damage to the product being processed. So it can still be used downstream with no damage to color and no damage to any other constituents in the product. So let's have a look at the spinning cone column itself. It is a large column with a central rotating shaft that is spinning at 350 RPM. It has a belt-driven motor, making it easy to maintain. And attached to that shaft we have these upside down spinning cones. As you can see, these spinning cones also have a fin attached to their underside, which helps the steam circulate through the column, picking up those delicate volatile aromas. Around each of the spinning cones, we have a stationary cone, which is not spinning. And these alternate throughout the column with 20 spinning cones and 20 stationary cones from top to bottom. The product enters through the top of the column and falls on the first stationary cone, and by gravity runs down that first stationary cone, creating a thin turbulent film where it falls on the second spinning cone, and the centrifugal forces of the spinning cone send it back up the cone where it hits the wall and falls on the stationary cone below, running down again by gravity, falling on the next spinning cone, and so on and so on. All in all, a thin turbulent film is produced. The film thickness is maintained at 1 millimeter, and the whole residence time that the product is within the column is only 25 seconds. That's right, in 25 seconds the aroma is recovered, all the delicate components of the aroma are recovered intact, and there is no damage to the product. And in some applications, as I mentioned, such as tea, the tea is also brewed in that same period of time. Now, what about the steam, you say? Well, the steam enters from the bottom of the column, and here it's shown in blue, and goes in the opposite direction to the product. So the product in red is entering from the top of the column, running down the cones, and the steam is entering from the bottom of the column, and assisted by those fins on the underside of the spinning cones, circulates, and the two phases of steam and liquid product interact, where the steam picks up the aroma of the volatiles from the product, and those volatiles are taken out from the top of the column, where they are then condensed to produce a clear liquid aroma. Now remember that we can control various parameters of the spin cone column to ensure that we capture the volatiles that are of interest and are desired by you, the customer. Parameters such as temperature of the product, temperature of the steam can all be controlled. Ideal operating conditions can be selected for each of the products to preserve the delicate flavors that make that product unique. So for products like coffee or tea, processing conditions of, say, 100 degrees Celsius can be used, whereas for fruits, different temperatures are used. For example, for pineapple, it may be a temperature of 75 degrees. For apple, 65 degrees. For more delicate aromas, such as those from peach or strawberry, temperatures of 45 to 50 degrees Celsius can be used. And each system can be used for multiple products. The desired aroma profiles are collected using the varying operating conditions, such as temperature of the product, temperature of the steam, and amount of stripping steam to collect the desired aroma. So let's have a look at some examples. One of the main industries that we find ourselves in is that for soluble coffee. It's quite possible that that instant cup of coffee that you're having right now has been made using the spinning cone column. The spinning cone column is considered the gold standard for aroma recovery in the soluble coffee industry worldwide. And currently we have over 70 spinning cone column installations around the world in soluble coffee, ranging from Brazil to Europe to Africa to Australia and to most parts of Asia. Most of our customers have a typical soluble coffee process that looks like this. The coffee beans are collected, stored in sacks and sent to the coffee companies where they are roasted, the coffee beans ground, the extractors filled to recover the soluble solids from the coffee beans. That extract is then concentrated in an evaporator before it goes to a spray dryer to be made into a powder, and some coffee companies also agglomerate their coffee powder into another final product. Most of our customers know very well that flavour is lost at every single step in that process. In fact, some of our customers have told us that if they had 100 flavour units at the beginning of the process, if there was no aroma capture at all, they would end up with less than 10 flavour units. So how do we help? The spinning cone column is installed directly after the extractors. The extract coming from the extractors is processed through the spinning cone column and the desired aroma captured, thus and added back to the concentrate before it goes to the spray dryer. In this way, the major flavour losses which occur at the concentration step are bypassed. Now, some customers don't add the flavour back to their concentrate in the storage tank, which may still be at elevated temperatures, but add it back in line just before it goes through to the spray dryer. Other customers add back the flavour to the agglomeration step. Other customers still don't use all their flavour back into their product, but on-sell their flavours to other companies that may use them for biscuits, savoury products, or even fragrances. The coffee produced contains more roast and ground flavours than would typically be possible. And our customers can produce different flavour profiles so that they can present their market with a range of new products. So they can have a standard product, a premium product, and a super premium product on the shelf. They can also meet changing taste profiles. So by easily operating the spinning cone column, they can have a mild flavour, a medium flavour, or a strong flavour of coffee present in their individual products. They can also meet the demands and different taste preferences of export markets, allowing them to easily export the product to other countries, and all this assists them in growing their sales and increasing their market share. Let's have a look at another application, and that is for ready-to-drink tea. Ready-to-drink tea is a growing industry worldwide, with market forecasts suggesting that in the US alone, the ready-to-drink tea industry will grow by 15% every year for at least the next 5 years. People and consumers, more specifically, are turning towards ready-to-drink tea products rather than going for those fizzy pop drinks due to the health benefits that are associated with drinking tea, antioxidants, polyphenols, etc. The spinning cone column in 25 seconds can not only capture the true essence of tea, but can also brew the tea to produce a high-quality extract. In this photograph shown here on the left, it is a tea slurry, and remember, a slurry is tea leaves mixed with water, and in this case it's a 10% slurry of green tea, so 10 kilos of tea have been mixed with 90 kilos of water to be processed through the spinning cone column. And what you see is the discharged green tea, so what has been de-aromatized coming out from the spinning cone column. The vibrancy of the green tea is still there, but this product no longer has aroma associated with it, as the preferred aroma has been removed. This slurry would then be clarified so that the solid tea leaves would be removed, leaving behind a high-quality tea extract that can be bottled, aroma added back, and other flavors to produce a consumer product that is preferred and allows you to attain greater market share. As mentioned, aroma and the brewing of tea occur at the same time, and it is a continuous system for the brewing of tea, which reduces batch-to-batch variation, reduces labor costs because it's all done through the spinning cone column in a continuous manner rather than the typical tea brewing process, which is a batch tank where the tea leaves are added, boiled for between 5 to 10 minutes, and then the tea leaves separated. It reduces waste, and it also reduces possible operator error. But more specifically, it captures the real, true aroma of the tea product. Desired aroma profiles can be produced to meet specific markets. From the one tea, you can have various aroma profiles being collected to meet consumer demand. If you are a toll processor, you can be approaching your customers with various tea aromas and asking them, which one do you like? I can produce any of them. Tea aroma and tea extract for the ready-to-drink products can be packaged in either bottles, bag-in-box, or individual serve sachets, allowing you to approach the market at various points. Today, we're pleased to say that the majority of natural ready-to-drink tea products in the USA are actually produced using the SEC technology. So let's have a look at the spinning cone column and physically what it looks like. Our smallest unit, which we also have in our pilot plants, has a nominal volume of 1,000 litres per hour. Of course, as the product gets more viscous, that volume throughput decreases in order to maintain the thin film. The SEC 1000 has semi-automatic control. It has a footprint of only 2 meters by 2 meters and a height of 4 meters. It is really plug and play. What you see there is how the system arrives at your factory. It's a skid-built system with heat exchangers, pumps, condensers, feed tank, all on board that skid. So once it's stood upright and services are connected, it is ready to go to work. It also offers clean-in-place functionality, allowing you to quickly and easily go from one product to the next with only a 1 to 1.5 hour CIP process. The next system up is the spinning cone column 10,000. This has a nominal volume of 10,000 litres, but as mentioned before, as the product viscosity increases, that volume has to decrease. This is a fully automated system, all built on the skid, again containing all pumps, condensers, heat exchangers, built specifically for the customer's application. Size, it has a length of 5 meters, depth of 2.2 meters, and a height of 6 meters. And although it is such a large system, it only takes us 5 days to install, followed by connection of services, commissioning, and training. It also offers clean-in-place functionality, allowing you to insert the system easily within your current process and clean it quickly, going from one product to another with very little time in between. Of course, if you wanted greater capacity, we can add a second column or third column or fourth column to the same skid, making it a much larger system. In this particular picture, it is a spinning cone column 10,000-2, which is a double column, and this one's used for coffee extract, aroma recovery from coffee extract in the United Kingdom. The nominal volume would be 20,000 litres per hour for this system. It's, of course, fully automated and integrated within the current customer process, and it has a dimension of 6.5 meters in length, 2.2 meters in depth, and 6 meters in height. 7-day installation, and of course, clean-in-place functionality. So that's all about the spinning cone column. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. But for manufacturing gold standard aroma products and helping you differentiate your product in the marketplace, the spinning cone column offers the best of everything.
Okay, hello, this is Con again, and thank you, Leon, for giving us that detailed overview of the spinning cone column, how it works and how it can be applied to different products. What I'd like to do now is hand over to Aubrey Dyer, who's our Head of Sales for the North and South Americas, and he will talk to you in regard to the Centritherm Evaporator. Okay, thank you, Aubrey.
Thank you for that, Con. As Con mentioned, my name is Aubrey Dyer. I look after the Americas region for FT Technologies. Now I'm going to be speaking about the Centritherm Evaporator. When you have a need to concentrate a heat-sensitive, high-value product, the options for doing so are quite limited. Freeze concentration is expensive, and going directly to a freeze or spray dryer from a low concentration results in low yields, poor quality powder, and high operational costs. Many of our customers have solved these problems with the installation of a Centritherm Evaporator. Delicate and heat-sensitive products can be concentrated in a single step. In some products, it's possible to concentrate from 10 bricks to 65 bricks with no thermal damage. When feeding a spray dryer, the powder quality is improved with better bulk density and solubility. This is combined with better yields, resulting from lower fines production and less thermal damage. Colour and flavour changes are also eliminated. The result is a higher quality product that costs less to produce. The Centritherm will gently concentrate with only 1 second of contact time on the heating surface, using a product temperature of only 50 degrees Celsius or 122 degrees Fahrenheit. And here you can see one of our larger units. We call this the CT9. It can evaporate up to 2,400 litres per hour, assuming a 10 bricks sugar solution and concentrating that up to 65 bricks. It is characterised by a compact footprint. We manufacture these with all of the components on the skid to provide a genuine plug-and-play or turnkey solution. We produce these in a range of sizes with capacities from 50 litres per hour up to 7,000 litres per hour. All of these with only 1 second of heat contact time. So why is it that the Centritherm can concentrate with such low thermal impact? This slide demonstrates this quite effectively. It is a function of both time and temperature. Traditional evaporators will use 3 or more effects in a series of either plates or tubes, which the product will rise or fall past. During the contact with the heating surface, heat will be transferred and the solvent, which may be water, alcohol, or another material, is evaporated. Here you can see typical time and temperature profiles for 3 common types of evaporator. The product must spend an extended period of time at higher temperatures. Now compare this time and temperature profile to the Centritherm. The difference could be likened to quickly brushing your hand against a hot surface compared to placing your hand on the surface for several minutes. With a brief touch, you will feel the heat but not be burnt. However, if you leave your hand there for an extended period of time, it will be burnt. So, how does the Centritherm evaporator achieve this remarkable performance? The key is the creation of a fast-moving and highly turbulent film. As you have heard previously, thin film technology is FT Technology's area of core expertise. The product is dispersed via a feed nozzle onto the underside of the cone. The cone is rotating and heated. Centrifugal force rapidly and consistently disperses the liquid over the surface of the cone. The product spends approximately 1 second on the cone before being pushed out of the evaporator by centrifugal force. And here you can see a photo of a product being evaporated on the surface of a Centritherm. And you can see that the liquid is moving rapidly and very turbulently. The result of this is rapid evaporation with little or no thermal impact to the product. It has similarities to the spinning cone column in that it utilises a thin, fast-moving, turbulent film, except in this case the cones are in the opposite orientation, and the product moves down the spinning cone instead of up the spinning cone. So now let's talk about some specific applications of this technology. Firstly, I'll talk about an application in South America in the coffee industry. The customer, who we cannot name due to confidentiality reasons, produced a very high quality freeze concentrated and freeze dried product. The problem was that this process was both expensive and unreliable. unreliable because it depended on a consistent supply of electricity, which was not available in this region. The critical driver in this project was maintaining product quality. The taste, the flavour, the quality of this premium coffee could not change. We replaced the freeze concentrator with the Centritherm Evaporator. Not only was the quality maintained, but operational efficiencies were significantly enhanced. It was a $1.4 million project, and the payback was less than 1 year. The operational savings were in the order of $2 million per year. In the pharmaceutical industry, we have a number of installations processing high value and highly heat sensitive products. Fermented bacterial broth and antibiotics. The implementation of the Centritherm results in higher potency and higher yields, which effectively means higher value of the product that is sold and often lower energy costs to produce it. The Centritherm is used widely in concentrating vitamin C, once again to improve the bioactive yields with no change in colour to the finished product. Tropical fruits are another good example. We have more than 25 installations processing passion fruit. Passion fruit is highly heat sensitive and the quality deteriorates rapidly at temperature. The Centritherm is industry standard, or gold standard for this industry when it comes to concentrating passion fruit. In the vegetable industry, we have a number of installations in Japan processing carrots. The Centritherm was selected for these applications because of the higher yield of carotene in the finished product that was generated when using the Centritherm. So to summarise, you would use a Centritherm if you were processing a heat-sensitive, valuable compound, and you'd use it in order to improve your yield of bioactive compounds. Or if it was a delicate flavour, you'd use it to improve your product flavour and colour. If you're sending this product to a dryer, you'd use it to improve your operational efficiency, to increase your dryer throughputs, improve the quality of the spray-dried product without any impact on the bioactive yields. So you maintain your quality, in fact improve your product quality whilst reducing your processing costs. So effectively, the Centritherm is used for concentration of heat-sensitive compounds, and in some cases achievement of higher total solids than a conventional evaporator. So it may be a product that is processed through a traditional evaporator and sent to a dryer, and we have applications where we have installed a Centritherm post the evaporator before the dryer to increase capacity. And this has purely been a capacity-driven project where the implementation of the Centritherm has saved the customer from having to buy a new spray dryer. So in summary, if you need to cost-effectively concentrate a heat-sensitive compound, we're able to review with you your product and your process and determine whether a Centritherm evaporator can both improve your quality and decrease your costs. Thank you for listening, and I'll now hand back to Con. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aubrey. Thank you very much for giving us a detailed overview of the Centritherm Evaporator and how that can be applied to various products as well. What I'd like to do now is hand back to Leon, who will go through the integrated extraction system. Basically, the integrated extraction system brings the technologies from both the spinning cone and the Centritherm Evaporator together to give you a total solution. Thank you, Leon.
Thank you, Con, and also thank you, Aubrey, for the presentation on the Centritherm Evaporator. As Con mentioned, the integrated extraction system was developed by us to bring both technologies together, but we didn't do that on purpose. We were first approached by a customer that took us into their factory and said, hey, look at my factory. I have vats boiling over there, people running around here, forklifts driving through there. It's a mess. You know, there's pipes here, there's pipes there. Help me create a more streamlined system that takes away some of this labor force, cleans up everything, and looks good. So we created the Integrated Extraction System, or IES for short, and it assists customers to produce premium quality flavors, concentrates, and powders. In this photograph, you can see the IES system in a location in the US customer base. The IES is a modular system that, going from the right side, has a slurry processing system. So you can see the hopper in the top right-hand corner of that photograph, where the product, be it tea leaves, be it coffee, be it fruit products, is added. We developed a wet milling technique which allows the product to be blanketed by water as it's being milled to be created into a slurry. And that wet milling technique really helps protect those key high volatile aromas. For example, if you're cooking dinner and you're cutting some vegetables or some fruit, those aromas that you can smell are those light volatiles that are, of course, disappearing into the room and no longer in the product. What we do with that wet milling technique is capture those light volatiles during that cutting process to create a slurry which goes into that tank in the bottom, and then that slurry goes into the spinning cone column to recover the desired aromas, and the de-aromatized slurry is then goes through a clarification step where the solids are separated from the liquid, and the liquid extract can then go into our Centritherm evaporator to quickly, in only 1 second, be concentrated to the desired concentration. The customer then ends up with two high-quality products, a high-quality desired aroma and also a high-quality concentrate, which they can blend back into the portions that they like or sell as individual products to their customers for their own blending back. So you can see this whole system is quite compact, it's quite clean, it's continuous, and can be operated by only one person. No wonder so many people that are producing ready-to-drink tea and coffee concentrates are turning to the IES as a solution for their factory. In fact, this customer in America has 3 IES lines working 24/7, all operated very easily to produce flexible products, flexible aromas and concentrates on various products. So while I go to the next slide, the IES, and I think I've just jumped a slide, just let me go back. The IES objective was to allow customers to cost-effectively commercialize the manufacture, sales, and distribution of a ready-to-drink product that still had that natural fresh taste of a freshly brewed cup of tea or coffee. Some of our customers, whether they be in the USA, in Asia, or in Europe, are making high-quality products that taste just like the real thing. And not only that, they can make a range of products using the same coffee beans or the same tea leaves. It is possible. So the spinning cone column and FT Technologies has allowed customers in the flavor industry to produce high-quality flavors since the 1980s. During that time, our R&D department established that the best flavor doesn't actually come from processing an extract, but by processing a slurry, in that way capturing the true natural aroma of the product that's being processed. This next slide here is some information from a GC analysis that has been provided to us from a customer showing the various flavor compounds present in tea and the quantities that have been captured in the aroma recovery process. In grey, we have the aroma compounds that have been captured by processing an extract, and in red we have the aroma compounds that have been captured by processing a slurry through the spinning cone column. As is clearly indicated, the amount of compounds and the quantity of those individual compounds is much, much greater in the spinning cone column when processing a slurry. So let's have a look at that IES process as a block diagram again, so it's quite clear. The raw material, be it tea leaf or coffee beans, if you're making ready-to-drink products, is processed through the slurry preparation stage where water is added to blanket the products during the milling stage and create a slurry. Typical slurry contents for a tea product may be up to 10% slurry, whereas for coffee, up to a 20% slurry may be utilized. So that's 20 kilos of water, 20 kilos of coffee per 80 kilos of water. That slurry then goes into our flavor extraction system, the spinning cone column, where the operating parameters can be set to capture the desired aroma. The desired aroma is then taken away and stored in a refrigerated tank to be protected, whereas the de-aromatized slurry goes into a clarification step. Now, depending on how clarified the product is required to be, this can involve decanting, a press, centrifugation, and even a membrane system. The solids are removed during the clarification step, and the clarified extract goes to the concentration step, which is our Centritherm evaporator, where the product is concentrated to the desired concentration level, at which point the aroma or flavor can be added back to produce the desired product. Now, our customers can buy the whole system of the IES as one complete unit, or depending on their requirements, can build stage by stage to obtain a fully functional IES system. Some of our customers are so proud of the spinning cone column that they actually use it in their advertisements of their own products. And here we have an advertisement from a Japanese magazine showing the customer's ready-to-drink coffee product with their special coffee machine, which, of course, as you've seen from the pictures in the presentation earlier, are the spinning cone column. The customer clearly states that their coffee machine allows them to capture the true brewed taste of a cup of coffee and bottle it for the consumer. So what we try and do with that IES system is to produce ready-to-drink products that have the real coffee taste and real fresh brewed taste that can be drunk at any time and picked up from a vending machine or a consumer store. One of the other things that the IES allows you to do is that it allows you to capture high quality and high yields of soluble solids from your tea products. In the tea, with an available solid content of 30% and a slurry ratio of 10%, processing through the IES allows us to have an extraction efficiency of approximately 80%. Now that means that out of that 30% available soluble solids, we're capturing 23%. So out of 100 kilos of tea, we would be capturing 23 kilos of soluble solids. Now, this is much more than your typical brewing process in a batch system, depending, of course, on how long you brew that tea. But just remember that in that batch process, as you take longer to brew the tea, you're destroying those functional ingredients, such as the antioxidants that tea is famous for, but you're also allowing most of the aroma to escape. The IES system, incorporating the spinning cone column, allows you to capture those delicate flavor notes, but also not to damage the tea because that brewing time is only 25 seconds. Now, most customers would be happy with that 80%, but FT Technologies R&D engineers were not happy. They wanted to see how high an extraction efficiency we could actually obtain. So they did some more research, and by incorporating an optional washing module, we can now actually achieve an extraction efficiency of 95%. So out of that possible 30% available solids, we could obtain 29 of that 30%. So to put it in actual terms, out of 100 kilos of tea, we could obtain 29 kilos of tea if the available soluble solids were 30 kilos. Now, of course, that extraction efficiency remains the same regardless of the level of soluble solids. So if you have a tea that has 40% soluble solids, the extraction efficiency would be relevant to that content of soluble solids in your tea. And this is all done in a continuous automated process that requires very little labor, allows you to capture the real fresh taste of the tea product and obtain high yields of soluble solids. So, just to recap on some of the features and benefits of the IES system. It is an automated, easy-to-use, continuous processing system. Once you start, you just have to keep feeding the tea leaves into the hopper, and the aroma recovery and concentration steps are done automatically. Even our tanks are automated to ensure that the process knows when they're full and when to go to the next tank and when they should empty. The whole IES system can be operated by only one person, thus reducing your labor costs. It produces a consistent high-quality product because each step is predetermined and automated. High yields are possible for producing RTD tea. And of course, all of this improves the profitability and operations of your company. The system can be supplied as a complete, compact process line with all tanks, pipework, pumps for the production of aroma, extract and concentrate, or we can implement a staged process where we start off with the first step and then a little while later go to the second stage and third stage of the process. The whole line has automatic clean in place functionality and a low ongoing maintenance requirement, making this a very easy system for most customers to implement and operate. The IES system uses our core expertise of thin film distillation and evaporation, where we create a film thickness of less than 1 millimeter in both the spinning cone column and the Centritherm evaporator. With the addition of using short residence times, remember it's only 25 seconds for the aroma and the extract, and it's only 1 second for the concentration step, we obtain minimal degradation and a higher quality product. So the IES system produces a high quality flavor and aroma that can be added back to your final product or sold as in its individual right. It produces a high yield of soluble solids, and it also produces premium concentrate where the color and the active constituents have been preserved. So if you're producing ready-to-drink teas or coffees, or even producing aromas from vegetables and fruits, the IES system can be assisting you to consistently make a high-quality product. Con, back over to you.
Thank you, Leon. So, and thank you to all of you for your interest in our webinar today. I trust that through our webinar you've been able to gain a reasonable understanding of both the SCC and the Centritherm evaporator technology, and particularly how that can be applied to your particular situation. But, of course, innovative technology is important, but it's not the only part of what we have to offer. Here at FT Technologies, we also have a very highly skilled team of chemical engineers, process experts, and our own R&D department that can work closely with you to customize the optimum solution for your business requirement. We know that every customer is different and every application is unique, so our specialists will work closely with you in customizing a solution that can meet your specific business requirements and improve your market share and hopefully profitability as well. Thank you very much. And if you would like any more information, please do not hesitate to visit us on our website, or as you can see on the final slide, all of our contact details are there on our email addresses. So please do not hesitate to contact us for any further information. Thank you very much for your attention today.
Okay, as I can see from the webinar board, we do have a few specific questions regarding what was presented during the webinar. The first one right from the top is regarding pet food aroma processing. Well, I can say that specifically over the years we've done several trials using our pilot plant facilities both in England and over in America, where we have processed various products to find out the most palatable aroma or essence for pet food, for introduction into pet food products. In some cases we've actually processed the pet food itself, and I remember in one interesting case we opened quite a lot of the small 150-gram tins to process through the spinning cone column as a slurry to obtain the various aromas from that product for analysis by the pet food company. Now, not only that, we've been able to process various meat products through the spinning cone column, again being processed as a slurry, to try and determine which part of the essence and which aroma fractions are more palatable to both cats and dogs. And in other cases, we've been able to process stomachs from cows, from pigs, chicken portions, to try and break down the aromas and find out what's palatable so it can be then added back to the pet food. Another question that is often asked is regarding the use of the Centritherm for extremely heat-sensitive products. Quite often the Centritherm Evaporator is used for, well, in the pharmaceutical industry for enzymes and proteins. And in those particular cases, we have what the Centritherm allows the customer to do is operate it at a much lower product temperature. So we can operate at temperatures from 35 degrees, and I have seen particular cases where the customer's operating a product temperature of 37 degrees, and then due to the flexibility and the capability of the Centritherm Evaporator, the customer's also lowered the steam temperature. So he hasn't processed the product at a steam temperature of 110 degrees, but has reduced that to 70 degrees to decrease the delta T and protect the product. Now this protects the product and the active constituents of the product, but one of the negative effects is it does lower the evaporation capacity of the system. But I mean, if quality is important, then that lowering of temperature does protect the product. So again, it's one of those things that illustrates the flexibility of the Centritherm Evaporator, where for different products you can run different product temperatures and different steam temperatures to get the best final concentrate that you're after. Another question that's come in is regarding the integrated extraction system, or the IES. As you saw from the presentation, it is a quite large involved system going from the slurry preparation all the way through to concentration. Now, of course, you don't have to buy all those components in the one go. They can all be bought separately, and you can, in fact, build the system slowly over a period of time. Neither does the system have to be supplied as a fully automated continuous system. We can semi-automate it. As a continuous system, for example, we would have automatic valves on all the tanks and all the communication and programming involved with that. But if you're in a country where labor is a little bit more economical, we can have the system in almost a batch mode or a semi-automated mode with the tanks using hand valves and the installations or the components being separate through the process. There's a question here regarding the operating cost of the installation. Well, really, that depends on the country that you are in, and we're more than willing to be able to sit down with you and discuss that with you, because we do have tables in place where we can calculate the services that will be used by our system, which then allows us to plug in the values of the services as they are in your country, for example, electricity costs, water costs, and determine the production costs of the whole line. Another question here, can the camera be installed to view the film on the cone of the Centritherm? That's an interesting question which I cannot answer, but I will get back to that person once I've spoken with our engineers. As you know, our Centritherm is a enclosed vacuum system, and it's also rotating. So there's probably some questions there that the engineers are better able to answer than I am. So I will leave that for another time. I'm just waiting to see if any more questions come through, but it looks like that's about it. So at this stage, there's a couple of items that I'd like to say. First of all, thank you for joining the presentation today. I hope you found it informative. It was a general presentation on our technologies. The email addresses that came up earlier, please, if you have any questions, please forward them to the email addresses that were there, or go to our website at www.ft-tech.net. We do have application information there. I see that somebody just sent a question saying, is this presentation available for replay? Within the next 2 days, we will be sending out instructions on being able to view this presentation on demand. So you will be able to log back in and view it at a time that is more convenient for you. I know a lot of our European registrants have not logged in because it's 2 a.m. over in Europe. But yes, you will be able to view this presentation on demand, and we'll be sending out a short email within the next couple of days providing that information. So thank you again for listening, and I trust you found this general presentation on our products of interest, and as I said, if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us directly. Thank you, and goodbye.